You're rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of tats.
Pramac Yamaha rider Jack Miller delivered an impressive performance in the first free practice session, FP1, of the 2025 MotoGP Brno. Miller recorded the second fastest time, narrowly trailing 8-time world champion Marquez, who now races for the Ducati factory team. Miller demonstrated solid performance from the start of the session, consistently staying in the top 3 before ultimately closing FP1 with the second fastest time, just 0.186 seconds behind Marquez. This result brought joy to the Pramac Yamaha paddock, especially since this performance came shortly after the team tested the latest aerodynamic components on the YZR M1 V4 motorcycle. Responding to his performance today, Miller spoke to the media. "Yeah, the bike feels much more stable when exiting fast corners. The new aerodynamics clearly help me control wheelies and keep the bike stuck to the asphalt," Miller said with a wide smile. But yeah, this was just the first practice session. There's still a lot to work on, especially keeping the rear tire alive until the end of the race pace. But if this feeling continues, we could surprise everyone in the race, he added. Miller's performance is a positive sign for Yamaha, which is currently undergoing a major transition phase, including the development of a V4 engine and the use of the latest aero kit to catch up with Ducati and KTM. With this FP1 result, Miller is expected to be one of the dark horses at the 2025 Brno GP this weekend. Especially if the bike setup and aero he brings remain consistent and can put pressure on the top riders. And here's the full story. The Brno circuit once again witnessed a heated battle between the top MotoGP riders. In the first free practice session, FP1, of the 2025 Czech Republic MotoGP, a surprise came from Pramac Yamaha rider Jack Miller, who delivered an outstanding performance by securing the second fastest time, right behind Ducati star Marquez. Miller set his best lap time toward the end of the session, clocking 1 minute 56.423 seconds, just 0.186 seconds behind Marquez, who led the timesheets with an aggressive performance on the Desmosed GP25. The major highlight was the presence of a new aerodynamic package on the Yamaha YZR M1 used by Miller. This aerodynamic component is believed to be one of the keys to the improvement in Yamaha's performance, which has historically lagged behind rival manufacturers like Ducati and KTM in terms of acceleration and traction. In a post-session interview, Miller acknowledged that the new aero kit played a significant role in his performance today. "Today the bike feels completely different. Braking stability has improved, and I can be more confident when entering and exiting fast corners. The new aerodynamics really help reduce wheelies and make the front end of the bike more stable," Miller explained to journalists. "We've tested this package during several private sessions before coming to Brno, but this is the first time it's been used in official practice conditions. I was also quite surprised by how positive the results were right away. Of course, it will take time to refine everything, but the direction of development is already very clear," he added. Miller also noted that this development is the result of the hard work of the Yamaha and Pramac technical teams, who are now working intensively to align the character of the Yamaha V4 engine with the rider's needs. "This is just the beginning. But if this level of performance can be maintained until race day, I'm confident we can compete at the front. Marquez is still the benchmark here, but I'm quite confident with our package this time," Miller said optimistically. Marquez himself acknowledged Miller's performance as a threat. In his comments, Marquez noted that Miller looks very comfortable on his bike and has consistent speed in long runs. The rivalry between the two is expected to heat up in FP2 and qualifying. For Yamaha, this result is a breath of fresh air. After several seasons of difficulties and stagnation in development, especially since the departure of several key engineers, their aggressive efforts to develop the V4 engine and new aerodynamics are beginning to show results. Now, all eyes are on FP2 and the qualifying session, which will determine whether Jack Miller's performance and Yamaha's aerodynamic package can remain consistent or if it's just a fleeting surprise. However, one thing is certain, Yamaha and Miller are back in the thick of the action in the 2025 MotoGP paddock. Jack Miller is back in the MotoGP spotlight after his impressive performance at the 2025 German MotoGP series at the Sachsenring circuit. This time, it's not just because of his speed on the track, but also because of his honest and enthusiastic comments about the major changes to the Yamaha inline for engine he now rides with the Pramac Yamaha satellite team. During a post-practice interview after the second free practice session, Miller didn't hesitate to state that Yamaha has finally started to find the right direction for development. The inline-4 engine, which has long been considered inferior to the V4 engines of Ducati, KTM, or Aprilia, has now undergone a major evolution, particularly in terms of acceleration and corner exit power. To be honest, I'm quite surprised. Since the start of the season, we've already felt a slight difference, but at Sachsenring, the improvement is really noticeable. The Yamaha inline-4 engine now feels more powerful, more aggressive when accelerating out of corners, but it still retains its smooth character, which is its hallmark, Miller said enthusiastically. Over the past few seasons, Yamaha has been known for stagnation in engine development. Many of its riders, including Fabio Quartararo on the factory team, have often complained about a lack of power, especially on straightaways and when exiting sharp corners. However, according to Miller, the changes made for the German GP this time around seem very significant. Usually, I had to really push the bike to compete when exiting corners, but now I can be more confident opening the throttle earlier. The torque feels stronger, and that's very helpful on tracks like Sachsenring, which are full of continuous corners. Jack Miller also highlighted how Yamaha has started to take a more aggressive approach in terms of electronic setup and engine power distribution. He noted that the changes are not only felt in terms of raw power but also in traction control and motorcycle stability during late braking, a crucial area on tracks like Sachsenring. Our technical team, both from Pramac and with support from Yamaha headquarters, has been working extremely hard. The changes to the mapping and torque configuration allow me to brake deeper without the motorcycle becoming unstable. This is progress that cannot be underestimated, he added. Nevertheless, Miller also emphasized that this development is still in its early stages, and there is still much to refine if Yamaha aims to become a title contender again in the remainder of the 2025 season. Our top speed is still behind Ducati, that's a fact. But the direction we're taking now is much more positive. It's not just about the engine, but the overall development philosophy. If Yamaha continues to be bold in this approach, I'm confident we can achieve great results. Jack Miller's performance at the German GP was promising. He recorded the fifth fastest time in practice and demonstrated consistent competitive pace, even briefly holding second place in some sections of the track. Through Miller's strong performance and optimistic spirit, it's clear that Yamaha, both the factory team and the satellite team,
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, cause she got a bad little waist. And we tearing down this place, off the liquor that we chase. Casamigos to the face, baby I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on that tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine.